Hey good people, it is Tisha from Bodies and Fashion here today with the video that is all about my summer faves. Now this is my favorite time of year. It is synonymous with vacation, with white toenail season. We're just outside, rooftop pools, a nice little spritzer, a nice cool beverage to drink, okay? It is my favorite time of year for sure. And so it is a perfect season to share with you all the faves that I have, the things that have been bringing me joy that I am bringing into the summer months. If that sounds good to you, just keep watching. Now, depending on when you watch this, summer technically starts on June 20th, but you know, I like to stay ready so I don't have to get ready. So I am already like deep into my summer bag and thinking about the mindset and the way that I want to feel emotionally, spiritually, financially, in all of the ways. And what I know as someone who is at a big age of 43 years old, that I can't figure those things out on my own. If I'm going to commit to myself to personal growth and development, it takes experts in my life. And for me, that means a therapist. And I have a new therapist. Baby, she's the one and not the two, okay? Our connection was immediate. And as someone who has been in and out of therapy for over 2 decades now. Is that right? Yeah, oh my gosh. Since my early 20s. So yes, for over 2 decades now, I know what I'm looking for in a clinician. I know how to build a relationship with someone that feels genuine and trustworthy, because I gotta be able to trust you, baby. We're going to do the work. We are working on Myra's feet. That's how I view therapy. And so finding a clinician that fits certain criteria is really important to me. And I found her over on ZocDoc. Yes, this part of today's video is sponsored by our friends over at ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network medical professionals. Choose the right one for your needs and click to instantly book an appointment. You can filter medical professionals who take your insurance, are located nearby, they are a good fit for your medical need that you may have, and they are highly rated by verified patients. I knew that I had outgrown my last therapist, and I literally was just sitting in front of my computer one day, logged into ZocDoc using my link. It will be linked down below, and within seconds, had found my therapist and was able to get an appointment with her same day. Hear me, same day. And that was a particular day that I was struggling and I needed to be able to get out of my own head. And I'm the kind of person who loves a very smart clinician. Like, I need to know immediately that you are rooting our conversation and our work together in a theoretical practice, and she definitely has done that. She's given me some great exercises to use to counter negative thoughts and to really situate myself in more mindfulness at the start and the end of the day. She has helped me actually through some role play to get past some just obstacles that I've been facing and preparing me for difficult conversations with folks that I love. I mean, she's that girl, honestly, and I'm so happy that it was seamless and easy to find her. That's the biggest takeaway for me. So if you've been looking for a therapist or another medical professional in your life, then I highly recommend ZocDoc. Click the link that will be in my description box to learn more. If you are new to therapy or you have a new therapist, what you might enjoy is this journal that I found at a small bookstore back home. Hopefully I'll be able to link it, called Therapy Journal. Therapy Journal, a guided reflection space for therapy sessions made by therapists, and I can tell. What I love about it, number one, is the paper. But let's get past that, okay? Not everyone is a paper snob like me, but the girls that know, you know. What I love about it is that it's kind of like the precursor, it's the appetizer to your therapy session or your dessert, because you also have prompts afterwards, and it helps you to kind of sandwich that time with your clinician and make sure you are getting the most out of it and you actually have the tools that you need to get to a deeper place of growth and self-discovery. The way it works is it helps you to set your goals for therapy, to then reflect on your week and prepare for the session that comes up. You can even capture your insights about therapy in real time in this journal. After it's all done, you process your session and then you put it into action. I have 1,000,001 journals. I do. We talked about this. I don't need the judgment. I'm just trying to be my best self, okay? But sometimes you need things that feel like they have guardrails for guidance. And that is what this therapy journal does. And what I wonder is if you could find a way to use this, even if you don't have the capacity to work with a therapist at this time. Either way, I will link it down below. Highly recommend. Both therapy and this journal have been my summer faves already. Many thanks to ZocDoc for sponsoring that portion of the video. I have a little bit of everything on this list, y'all. So we're going to bounce back and forth between things that may be more lifestyle and conceptual to actual physical products, whether they be fashion or beauty. But let's now get into my makeup changes and what the faves have been lately. Now, if you're not new around these parts, then what you probably know is that I did a get ready with me or like a makeup tutorial with my girl Janae. And baby, my makeup was here before. Having Janae sit down with me and teach me particular skills and tools to use took it up here. It was like being shot out of a rocket. I guarantee you. Go back after this video and immediately watch that one. I will link it down below because y'all have been loving my makeup and I really appreciate it because I felt like before it was like, okay, she knew a little bit of that. But now, it's giving, did you paint it on your face? Like, I saw my homegirl the other day, and she was like, but your makeup looked like you airbrushed it on. Like, literally, it looks like you used a machine to put your makeup on. It is flawless. And I was like, thank you. And, again, it's techniques, it's tools, it's tricks, and just the muscle memory of doing it over and over again. And so I don't want to kind of extract any one thing. I think it's the sum of it, which is why I'm telling you to go and look at that video. But the foundation in particular is that what I think folks have been responding to, and so I have to talk about that. What I believe I see the biggest differences when it comes down to finishing a look off is going to be these things that I have here. Number one, my favorite foundation lately has been the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter. I went back and forth with this one. I was using at one point the Charlotte Tilbury foundation, the one that also mattifies. This is a better color for my skin, although I do want to go one shade darker this time of year. But it's a good one, and you don't need a lot of it. It's a buildable foundation, but it also gives you full coverage. And once I use my foundation, my concealer, the contour stick, my powders, all the things, what I like to do is do a preset of my makeup because my skin is so oily. And I do that with something that's going to put a little bit of the moisture back into my skin. And that is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I love this so much, y'all, until I even have a small one that's travel size that I keep in my travel makeup bag just to make sure I do not forget it, because even if I don't have my other finishing spray or setting spray, this one is going to do the job well enough, but I like it as my in-between, right? It is the step before the final step. And if you want that airbrush painted on effect, I noticed, I think last week for the first time, oh, this is it. So let me plug you. This is what it is. It is the MAC setting powder. My shade is NW53. It's the OG Triple OG Studio Fix. Everyone knows what this is, okay? It is in a compact. And if you just want like to get the oil off your face and you're not a big makeup girly, this is good just for that. Actually, my makeup artist Day uses this, and Janae used it in the tutorial as well. It is a Bad B collabo. Baby, you finish your makeup with this, and then you hit it with this. It is the One Size Setting Spray. Until Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. Jackie Aina told the girls about this one, and if Queen Jackie uses it, it's real. It is legit. Again, another product that comes also in a travel size that I try to keep multiple of, because if I run out of this, the beat doesn't beat. The mug doesn't sit in the same way. If you get nothing else from this video, if you are wanting to play around with your foundation or find the best finishers for your makeup, these two things are a must. I feel like they are what took my makeup from amateur to intermediate, as well as the other kind of just skills that Janae taught me in that tutorial. So hopefully that answers your questions, girl, but definitely summer faves. let's keep going. Whoo child, this authoritarian regime we are living under. It is exactly what Margaret Atwood told us about in The Handmaid's Tale. Between the Christian nationalists and the Christian Zionists, we're doomed. And I had taken a break from watching The Handmaid's Tale because it's one of those things where it had become reality, and I was afraid. And it was just triggering. But I jumped back into it, girl. I stayed up like until 2 a.m. 2 weeks ago watching it. Now, I have to take it in chunks. I can't just binge that show for days at a time because, again, it takes a lot from me emotionally. And I still need to get through the book. I have it on my e-reader. But, whew, child. It's so complicated if you have not seen it. Let me go back, okay? It's very important that we talk about Handmaid's Tale, especially during this time. If you're someone who's been divorced from the news, just go read the book. Read the Spark Notes. Drop it in AI. They'll give you a summary. But it's by an author named Margaret Atwood, and it is a series. It was adapted into a series on Hulu. And here's what happens. There appears to be a civil war that must occur as the show starts. It's already happened. And a fundamentalist Christian group takes over a part of the United States, and they call it Gilead. Because what's happened is environmental disasters, global warming and such, toxic waste, has pollution, sounds familiar, has decimated the birth rate around the world. And so in order to continue the human species, they create this whole construct that nobody actually really believes in besides the ones who were at the bottom of the totem pole. Again, it sounds like real life. And they have used religion to basically completely oppress and abuse women. And so you have these handmaids who are the last of the fertile women who are able to have children that are then assigned to the commanders, so the high-ranking officials in Gilead. And the story is told through the eyes of one particular handmaid. Her name is Offred, because your name is like off whatever the commander's last name is. And so her name is Offred. And it's told through her lens, June Osborne, but it's played by Elizabeth Moss. And she goes from her name, June, to being Offred when she gets abducted and her child gets stolen from her and placed with another family. And what happens is, again, sounds like real life, people start to snitch on one another and say, like, this person is not worthy of being a mother. So her child gets taken, but they know she can have children. So then she was assigned as a handmaid to a particular commander. And the story gets wild from there. I will not go deep into it. They are on now, I think, the 4th or 5th season. It takes a while to produce the show. And I'd stopped watching it, I think, at season 3. So just getting caught up and seeing where June is now is wild. And not surprising, she's lost it. Some of the things I'm seeing her do, I'm like, you've lost it. But I've never actually enjoyed her as a character. And I studied English Lit undergrad. And so I'm drawn to complicated characters because I know it's hard to write them. We see things in a binary. You're good or you're bad. And every story kind of tends to have the same arc, especially American fiction. And to create a character that you like, bitch, do I like you? I don't think I like you, but I like you, but I'm rooting for you. But oh, you was wrong when you did that, right? To create a character that mirrors the complexities of real life is so difficult. And so just her trajectory and character development alone, I am loving. Enough said. If you have not seen this show, watch it. If you have, no spoilers in the comments. Please let us know your thoughts, as well as if you've read the book, let us know, because I'm really interested in how the book and the show parallel or not. Now, my next fave you saw in my summer haul and trends video. Make sure you go and watch that video next if you missed it. It is these Tibby jeans. Girl, rip them off my body. They go with everything. They're lightweight. The shape is amazing. They're long enough. You may have to get them hemmed if you were shorter than me. I am almost 6 feet tall, a size 6 waist, 8 in the hips. And so I got them in a medium. They do run large. Obsessed. Obsessed. And Timmy's the kind of brand that they think very intentionally, seasonally, about how all their pieces fit together. And so I cannot wait for fall because I will be adding to my Tibby collection. I even love their shoes. Tibby just, they do their big one. And I know it's just a pair of denim, but for me, as someone who lives in denim, jeans are a staple in my wardrobe for sure, season after season. To have a pair that work specifically in the warmer weather and that are on trend with the horseshoe shape, but also classic, yeah. I am obsessed. I actually saw them first, y'all, at a local boutique at Mosaic District. Fell in love. I told you in the Summer Trends video that I was able to get a small on. And I was like, oh, it's pulling in the hips. Let me just actually go home and see if I can find them. Found them on ShopBop. They may also be available on the pre-love market, so don't feel like you have to pay the Tibby price. I think they're about $500. But what I can say is that I did find a dupe over at Gap, either Gap, the main store, or the outlet. I'm not sure, but it will definitely be linked down below. The elastic in the waist is so comfortable. They're great to travel in. Just an excellent staple piece in my capsule wardrobe for sure. All right, girl, let me up this lip today. I didn't put on any lipstick, just gloss, because my eye makeup is so bold. I'll make sure I link the palette that I use down below. It's by Juvia's Place. Even if this one isn't available, all of their eyeshadow looks so good on deep melanated skin. It's one of the few brands that make colors that instantly pop on my skin. So I'll link it down below. I have 3 books to share with you. One of them I just finished, and the other 2 I will begin to read. My goal is to read 2 books this month. Pray for me. But I noticed that I sleep so much better, y'all, when I have an evening routine. Back to favorite number 1, therapy. All right, when I have an evening routine that does not include my phone. I took a break in May from reading. I didn't read anything in May outside of the news, which much of that is doom scrolling, definitely not healthy. And so I wanted to make sure I was intentional for summer about curating a reading list. So I'm going to share with you the 2 books I plan to read this summer, but also a book that I finished in April that I highly recommend. Girl. Now, this may be a bit of a niche subject area that I can't expect everybody to be into. But it's called Dinner for Vampires, Life on a Cult TV Show While Also in an Actual Cult by Bethany Joy Lenz. And you guys might remember her from her time on a TV show. I didn't watch the show, but I remember hearing about it, called One Tree Hill. I watch a lot of shows here on YouTube. My favorite is called Cults to Consciousness and other documentaries about high control group. There's probably some like trauma bonding that I'm doing with people who have been victims of that because I did spend time in a high control group. Another conversation for another day, girl. Just know my Hotep phase was not a crystal stair. So I was aware, thankfully, that I had been manipulated and controlled, but I didn't know the word to describe it, and that's where my understanding of high control groups or coercive control groups came in at. I also thought a cult had to be something that was huge, like Scientology, right? But no. Your job could be a high control group. Your church could be a high control group. It's all about the practices, not the name or even the number of people. And her book goes directly into that because she joined what she thought was a Bible study. And a decade later, they had robbed her blind and put her in a lot of precarious situations. I mean, she was in this abusive relationship with the founder's son. I won't say too much about the story. I mean, what I've said thus far is she's talked about openly in a bunch of interviews. So that is what actually encouraged me to read the book. And one good thing about her, I was talking to someone about this recently, about the value of like Audible or audiobooks, because I read this and I listened to it simultaneously. pretty much. Kind of alternated sometimes as well. But the good part about an audiobook with someone like her is that she's an actress. And so you hear her acting all of these different roles. Like, she's using and imitating their voice. It was just so good. She's so smart. So happy she got out of that group. Even if you feel like you're not someone who is drawn to that part of the world, this is still a great autobiography because it's a story ultimately of resilience and how anyone, and this is something that I cannot underscore enough, anyone can fall victim to a group like this, and they hit you right when you were the most vulnerable, and that's what they did to her. So again, you got to read this. It's also funny at times in this very dark way. So, Dinner for Vampires, a great book. And after having this book for months, I finally broke open You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. It is by Akweke Imizi. Probably mispronouncing that, so sorry. But I read another book from them called The Death of Vivek Oji, which was so good. Oh, now this book, that book I think was set maybe in Nigeria, definitely a West African country. This book starts in Brooklyn. I'm only probably about 20 pages in, so can't tell you a whole lot about it, but what I can say is the writing is so beautiful. There's this whole like bathroom sex scene that I felt like I was a fly on the wall. It is so descriptive, but not in like a pornographic type of way, in a sensual type of way. Just, they are such an amazing author. The big components of the plot, y'all, are that the main character gets into a car accident. The love of her life is lost in that accident. He passes away. And it's about her spending time just trying to get her mojo back and what that looks like for her and the different twists and turns that it takes. So if you want a nice like romance novel, but also something that's written beautifully, it doesn't feel like a bunch of fluff, this is the book for you. I think it's going to be great to ease into the summer with this one. Now, the next book, because I do like to go between fiction and nonfiction, I just got in the mail. It actually drops, I think, tomorrow. So if it's available, I will link it down below. It's called Liberation Stories: Building Narrative Power for 21st Century Social Movements. It's an anthology of stories that was put together by Dr. Chanel Matthews, who is a professor, and Marzina Zukowska, and the Radical Communicators Network. I will link it once again down below. I have had the pleasure of meeting them both, and what they say is they started this book, or this anthology of stories, because they wanted to capture the work that had been done in movement spaces, specifically by folks who are on the comm side. And just a word here about why that's important, because you don't have to be an triple OG organizer, activist. You don't have to be like the reincarnation of Malcolm X, Dr. King, or Fannie Lou Hamer to read the book. It is rooted in stories. And at the end of the day, that's what effective communicators of any type do. They are great storytellers. They are great storytellers. Every speech that we remember, every moment in our lives where we've heard someone speak and we've been like, damn, they really know what they're talking about. Probably there was a story or a narrative that was connected to it. Even when it was not apparent, there was still a narrative connected to it. And I'm learning that narrative change is actually a proper noun. There's so much science behind it. And most importantly, we are all influencers in some right. And this book talks about the ways that we can use that everyday influence in whatever space we're in, whether it be online activism or otherwise, to effectuate change. And so it is a series of stories, which makes it easier to read from my understanding. It's not like an academic text. And it even goes back to some kind of historical components as well. So again, I will link it down below for y'all. My next fave is memory keeping, and you all might remember this. This is a photo album, y'all. It is a bougie photo album. It ain't that one that you get down at Michael's. This is a photo album. It's a coffee table photo album. Getting some of these little spots off of it. Hold on, girl. It is a coffee table photo album by the folks down at Printworks. The side or the spine of it says picture perfect, okay? And I shared this with you all in my primary bedroom makeover video. I found it online actually months ago, and I was like, this actually is really cute. Didn't grab it, ended up seeing it at the Container Store of all places and grabbed it. And so I have been spending time actually putting photos in. My goal is to have like a monthly recap of pictures of my fiance and I, our family, our friends, of Pook's child, that we can put into the photo album. I am someone who's always loved scrapbooking. And I think being a digital creator and just, having our phones and different devices these days, we forget about the importance of having physical memories, physical, actual, tangible moments that are so important. And I knew I wanted to jump into the photo album. And when you know that my girl Margot ended up sending me this email out the blue with a gift certificate. And I was like, what is this brand? Mooch. I can't pronounce it. MOOTSH Photos. And so once a month, I get pictures that are printed that they send in these cards. So good. I love Happy Mail. And what they also give you, y'all, is one photo that has all of the images that you selected in smaller squares. And I have been using these photo corners from Printworks, but I'm not going to reorder these. I'm going to get some cheaply from wherever I can find them that isn't Amazon or Target, because these were kind of expensive for what they are. But basically, I take my Moosh photos and I affix them in my album using these photo corners. Talk about just like a great Sunday afternoon self-care moment. Get you a glass of wine, child. Sit out on the porch and be like, everybody leave me alone. I'm working in my photo album. Okay, no, I'm not 175 years old. This is what modern memory keeping looks like. So I'll flip you through a few of the pages of my current book. The first photo is of Bay and I kind of wanted that to anchor things, obviously. This is a photo from our engagement shoot. And then the next set of photos are of just eating and drinking good. That's one of our favorite pastimes, child. So Makoto was somewhere we went in April, and then we had an omakase dinner in May. And so those are two of the photos of her hands with the cocktails and of the sushi. The way she's holding these chopsticks is hilarious to me, child. And the next page is a reminder of what my word of the year is, which is connection. To connect with people that I don't get to spend enough time with, but who I sincerely love. One of them is my girl Monroe, who you all know. This is a photo of us at Nikki Beach in April. And the other person is my girl Anika, who has been a boutique owner, an entrepreneur here in DC, who convenes such a lovely and beautiful space for Black folks in the city. And I've known her for over a decade and admire her so much. I reconnected with her in, I think, early May. Next up is my sister Jada, me helping to get her ready for prom, which was such a special moment. My other sister took this photo. Pokes in a fresh press and curl because she's that girl, okay? And then a photo of Bay and I and our photographer, and one of my favorite pictures of all time of us at our engagement shoot. So I'll keep it going. This is just kind of a few snapshots of April and May. I will send in my selections for June, and it takes probably about a week for the photos to arrive. I love Moosh because the pictures are top tier, and I get them printed matte. The quality, the resolution is chef's kiss. But for day-to-day memory keeping, I don't need that kind of level of high production. What I actually really love for fast, quick, and easy printing is my Kodak Mini 2 Retro printer. I think I've showed you guys this before. It was definitely something that I shouted out during my bridal weekend because I printed pictures for everyone who came. I printed a picture of them and put it on their bag using this printer. The way it works is that it connects using Bluetooth to your phone. You download an app, and that's what allows for you to select your pictures, and it sends a signal to the printer to print them out. No ink needed because the cartridge has about 20 sheets in it, I think, and the paper itself has the ink embedded in it, from my understanding. The only miss that I don't love is that the paper isn't sticky. I really wish that it was. And so you have to I use washi tape or a glue stick or even double-sided tape to affix it to my journal. So let's talk about that. Either April or May's cloth and paper box had this journal in it. You can use it as an agenda, but as soon as I got it, I knew I wanted to use it for memory keeping. And so sometimes I write literally my appointments, my calls, what I did during the day. Other times I free write about my day. And what I do probably every 2 or 3 entries is I go in and I add pictures. I don't do this during that time because I don't want it to get in the way of the habit, right? I'm not going to always feel like selecting and printing photos. But what I do, I get in bed at night on a good day when I'm like in my positive habits bag. I get in bed, I do my memory keeping for the day, talking about my day, and then I will start to read, and that's how I fall asleep. But what I do once a week is I try to go back and I print my photos and I attach them after I've already done the entry. So I save some space for a picture or two. I just want to keep this going. Again, I need paper. I need places to write things down. I got to get it out of my head. This is the second journal I've showed you and my favorites, and it's for a reason. I will make sure everything is linked down below that I can find between Moosh, the printer. Cloth and Paper may be selling this journal. If not, their monthly box is a joy to have, so I will link that down below as well. And even the Print Works photo album, one of you tagged me on IG and said that you got it. Let me know how it has been going for you. I can't wait for it to be full, and I just placed it on my bookshelf. And it's like year by year, or maybe every 6 months or so. And you know, people just come over and they're like, girl, what you got here? Oh, let me show you. You know, here's Pooks throughout the years. Just show me and Bae throughout the years. I don't know, family, moments, occasions, wedding, all the things in this Print Works photo album. Mabel is a great brand in my opinion. I have never been disappointed by anything I've gotten from there. And as a slim, thick, tall girly, I've also shopped their jeans and never been disappointed, because there was a time where everybody didn't have talls as an option, and so Madewell was one of the few places I could go to find jeans in different lengths and that were also going to fit my curves. And so I love them as a brand, but I'm definitely obsessed with these shoes. They come in 3 different colors. If you saw my unboxing video in a vlog, I also got the snakeskin pair, but I sent those back because of my second summer fave. And it is these. It's a little garden gnome, and I'm aware of it. You know, like it doesn't have to be this sharp of a toe box. It never had to be that pointy. But I think that's where the money resides. That's where the trend and the fun and the flair resides, okay? If you have wide feet, I'm sorry, friend, it may not be for you. You definitely will have to go up. These are by Tony Bianco, and I got the biggest size that they make, and so my feet are kind of all the way at the top, which is fine. They still fit, but I think ideally your foot probably would come, or your toes would come, like probably right about there, and that's meant to be negative space. Nevertheless, it's not a lot of sandals I would wear like going out. I'm just blaming on my age, girl. One thing I believe is a stiletto pump in the club. Like I've said it before, I will always say it. I believe if I'm going out, if I'm getting dressed down, I believe in a heel. I really do. But this is the kind of sandal that I would definitely wear, even if I almost wore this last night. Now, it is a Jill Saunders dupe, as I have told you all. And I ordered the Jill Saunders in black, I think last year, and they were too small for me. And the biggest she goes up to, I think, is a 41, and I had a 41. And so I just kind of put it out of my mind until my girl Jazz had them, and she has the ones with the heel. And I'm like, oh yeah, I do still love those shoes. So went back online thinking I was going to finally pull the plug on the Jill Saunders ones. The price is hurtful for what they are, only for Google to do its big one and show me these by Tony Bianco, and I swear y'all, it is the same exact shoe. As someone who had in my possession the Jill Saunders, and now who has these, it's the same shoe, okay? Because how could you mess this up? It's a few very thin straps. That's all it is, right? What I can say though is be mindful, because they do have that point. That corner wear is just naturally going to happen. And so I may have to get that reinforced or even get it reattached at some point. Because one thing I'm going to do is wear my clothes. I'm going to ride them babies till the wheel falls off, because I am just low-key obsessed. And I've seen that style now at a lot of different retailers. I will link what I can find down below. And that is it, good people. Those are my summer faves. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If so, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 100K. And I will see you, good people, next time.